She was best known for her role in Grease and one of her biggest musical hits, Physical.
When Olivia Newton-John walked onto the Tonight Show stage, nobody thought the quiet and sweet star would leave Johnny Carson and the crowd in total shock. People knew her for being gentle, kind, and full of charm. She had already won hearts through her songs and movies. But something shocking happened that evening. It happened very fast, without warning, and left the popular host surprised. Was it something she said, or did she do something? Everyone was taken aback by that quick moment, and people are still talking about it now. What really happened when Olivia sat down next to Johnny? Join us in this video as we discuss the details. The shocking display of Olivia Newton-John on Tonight Show. When Olivia Newton-John appeared on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, there was a very odd and surprising scene. For the majority of those who witnessed it, it initially appeared to be a rather typical evening. Just another well-known performer, another well-known guest, doing what she does best, you know? Olivia was already well-known worldwide. She was adored by everyone. Her music was adored by them. Her grin was adored by them. They admired her seeming kindness. People were thrilled when she appeared on Johnny Carson's show. The lights were bright. The audience was ready. Everyone thought they knew what to expect. But then, something strange happened. Something unusual. Something nobody could really explain. Olivia started the night by doing what she always did so well, she sang. She stood on stage with her calm, graceful presence, and she sang two of her most well-known songs. If You Love Me, Let Me Know, and I Honestly Love You. From the very first note, people were silent. You could hear a pin drop. Her voice was soft, but strong, sweet, but also full of real emotion. It felt like she wasn't just singing a song. She was telling a story, opening her heart, letting people feel what she was feeling. The audience was completely drawn in. It was the kind of performance that people remember for a long, long time. After she finished singing, Olivia walked over to sit down with Johnny Carson. Now, if you know anything about Johnny Carson, you know he was one of the best at what he did. He was smooth. He was funny. He could make just about anyone feel comfortable in front of the cameras. And that night, when Olivia sat next to him, everything seemed to be going just fine. They laughed a little. They talked about her childhood. They talked about Australia. They even joked about Australian slang. Some of those words Americans didn't understand. And Olivia made it all sound so funny and sweet. The two of them were having a lovely conversation. At least, that's how it seemed, until something shifted. Now, this next part, this is where things get a little unclear. People watching at home didn't quite know what happened, and even the people in the studio looked a little confused. There was a moment, just one little moment, where Olivia did or said something that seemed to surprise Johnny Carson. It was quick. It was subtle, but you could feel it. You could see it on Johnny's face. The mood in the room shifted. Some people thought maybe she said something too personal. Others believed she made a little joke that didn't land quite the way she meant it to. And there were even a few folks who believed that Olivia's charm, her surprising, real, and sometimes unpredictable charm, just caught Johnny off guard. He wasn't expecting her to be so open, maybe. Whatever it was, people noticed. There were whispers after the show, quiet ones at first, and then louder. Some fans started to say she might not be asked back. Some said maybe the producers didn't know what to make of her. Some even wondered if Olivia had broken some unspoken rule. One of those silent rules that shows like that sometimes have about how far a guest can go, what they can say, how they should act. But here's what makes it all so interesting. Nobody really knows. Nobody has the full story. Not Olivia, not Johnny, not the audience. It's become one of those stories that lives in the middle of mystery. People have been wondering for years what exactly happened during that interview. And even now, long after that night, fans are still curious. They still ask questions. They still talk about it. And that small moment, that strange little twist on a night that was supposed to go smoothly, became a small part of Olivia Newton-John's bigger story. But before that curious night on television ever happened, who really was Olivia Newton-John, and what kind of life shaped the woman behind the voice the world fell in love with? Let's delve deeper. The life of a star who gave so much. Returning to the beginning, Olivia Newton-John was born on September 26, 1948, in Cambridge, England, a serene and picturesque city. She was her family's youngest kid. Brinley Newton-John, her father, was an extremely intelligent man. He worked for the British government during the war, World War II, and did some very serious, very important work. He helped break secret codes. He even helped take one of Hitler's top men into custody. That's how brave he was. Her mother, Irene, came from a family of thinkers and scientists too. In fact, Olivia's grandfather won a Nobel Prize in physics. Her family was full of intelligent, kind, and significant individuals. Olivia's heart was always pulled towards something different. Despite her strong scientific and serious upbringing, she was a music lover. She was an animal lover. She enjoyed performing. When she was very young, her family moved far, far away, from England to Australia. That's where she grew up. That's where she learned to sing in little cafes and joined her first singing group with some friends. She even won a talent contest that gave her a chance to travel back to the United Kingdom. That was the beginning of her big dream becoming real. She started out performing in small clubs. Some nights were fun, some were tough. Once, she even ended up singing in a place she later found out was a strip club. But she just laughed it off and kept going. Nothing stopped her. She had a dream, and she followed it. And before long, she had her first big hit with If Not For You, a song written by Bob Dylan. People started to notice her. Her voice was soft but strong, and her kindness came through in every word she sang. But the really big change came when she took the role of Sandy in the movie Grease. She wasn't sure at first. She thought she might be too old to play a high school student, but the producers believed in her. And when she did a screen test with John Travolta, the magic was clear. Their chemistry was real. People felt it. And once the movie came out, it became a huge success. The songs were everywhere. You're the One That I Want. Hopelessly Devoted to You. Summer Nights. Everyone knew the words. Everyone loved Sandy. And Olivia became a household name. Life wasn't always easy, though. She went through heartbreak. She had a marriage that ended. And she went through something very hard when a man she had dated for years disappeared. There were rumors and stories, but nothing was ever proven. That sadness stayed with her. Then came her biggest personal battle, breast cancer. She was diagnosed in 1992. It changed her life. But she didn't give up. She went through treatment. She stayed strong. And after that, she became a voice for other women. She spoke out. She shared her story. She helped people understand the importance of checking their health. She even started a cancer center in Melbourne to help others going through what she went through. Her album Gaia was filled with songs about her journey, about pain, about hope, and about never giving up.
We have some breaking news to share. Actress and singer Olivia Newton-John has died at the age of 73.
Olivia Newton-John passed away in 2022. It was a sad day. People around the world cried. They remembered her music. They remembered her smile. They remembered how she made them feel.
They've touched our hearts. They've made us smile and became dear friends, who we will always remain hopelessly devoted to.
Tributes came from everywhere, from John Travolta, from Elton John, from fans young and old. Australia gave her a state funeral to honor everything she had done, not just as a singer, but as a fighter, a helper, a giver. Olivia Newton-John was more than one performance, more than one role, more than one mysterious moment. She was someone who kept going, who kept singing, who kept loving, and who kept giving. That's what people remember. That's what matters most. Speaking about chemistry, beyond their iconic on-screen roles, what kind of friendship did Olivia Newton-John and John Travolta build off camera that lasted a lifetime? Let's find out. A friendship that lasted a lifetime. John Travolta was very sad when he heard the news that Olivia Newton-John had passed away. Olivia was not only his co-star in the movie Grease, but also one of his closest friends for many years. When people found out she died, many felt shocked and heartbroken. John was one of the first people to talk about how much he loved Olivia and how much she meant to him. He wrote a message on Instagram that said, "My dearest Olivia, you made all of our lives so much better." He also said, "You're Danny, you're John," which reminded everyone of the special roles they played together in the movie. Their friendship was very strong, and John wanted everyone to know how much he cared about her. Olivia Newton-John started her journey in music and acting when she was very young. When she was just 14 years old, she formed a singing group with some girls. Even though the group did not last long, it was the beginning of her dream. Then, when she was 15, she won a singing contest. This contest gave her a prize, a free trip to London. This trip was very important because it helped her become more famous. In 1971, when she was 23 years old, she released her first solo album called If Not For You. The title song was written by Bob Dylan, a famous songwriter. This album helped her music career grow bigger. She became very popular, especially after winning the award for Best British Female Vocalist 2 years in a row. In 1974, Olivia took part in a big singing contest called the Eurovision Song Contest. She sang a song called Long Live Love and came in 4th place. This was very good, especially because she was competing against ABBA, who won that year. Even though Olivia's singing career was doing well, she wanted to try acting too. She got the chance to play Sandy in the movie Grease. At first, Olivia was not sure if she wanted to do it. She was worried because she was older than a typical high school student. But John Travolta helped convince her to take the role. When they did a screen test together, their connection was very strong and real. Because of this, Olivia got the part. The movie Grease became a huge success. Many people loved it, and it is still popular today. The songs from the movie, like You're the One That I Want and Hopelessly Devoted to You, became very famous. This movie made Olivia a worldwide star, and her music career became even bigger with 2 #1 singles that same year. It is interesting to know that Olivia almost said no to the role of Sandy, but she ended up with the biggest part of her life. People usually think of Olivia as a sweet, innocent girl next door, but she also showed a different, more daring side. One example is her song Physical, which was a bit risky and showed another part of her personality. She also starred in the movie Xanadu, which was popular as well. Another interesting movie she did was A Mom for Christmas, where she played a department store mannequin who comes to life. This movie had many of her songs and showed that she could act and sing very well. Olivia won many awards for her music and acting. One very special honor was when she was made a dame by the Queen. Olivia was very proud of this award because of her British roots and said she felt very honored. John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John were more than just co-stars. They became close friends. They met only after being cast in Grease, but soon their friendship grew strong. Olivia said that she might not have done the movie if John hadn't encouraged her. John himself said he really wanted Olivia to play Sandy because he thought she was perfect for the part. During the filming, their chemistry was so good that many people thought they were in a romantic relationship. However, both Olivia and John always said they were just friends. Olivia explained that they were like brother and sister, and she believed that not being romantically involved helped keep their on-screen connection strong. She also said that if they had dated, it might have caused problems, so it was better that they stayed just friends. But while her friendship with John Travolta was a shining part of her life, what personal battles did Olivia face behind the spotlight? And how did she find strength through it all? Keep watching to find out. A life of strength, courage, and love. John and Olivia helped one another through a lot of life's significant events. John was present at Olivia's divorce, the birth of her daughter, and the death of her sister. Olivia also supported him. They were pals for a long time. John said that they talked often, sending text messages and meeting up. He went to see her shows, spent time with her backstage, and sometimes had dinner with her to catch up. The last time they performed together as Sandy and Danny was in December 2019. It was their first time doing it together in more than 40 years. Neither of them knew that it would be the last time they shared the stage. Olivia had good times in her life, but also faced many hardships. In 1992, she had two very hard things happen at the same time. Her father died, and she was diagnosed with breast cancer. She fought the disease and won, becoming a strong voice for breast cancer awareness. She worked to help other women and support research. Unfortunately, in 2013, the cancer came back. And in 2017, she faced it again for the third time. Olivia talked about her experience openly. She said she felt lucky to be alive and that she tried to see the good side of every bad situation. Olivia believed that staying positive was very important. She said everyone has fears, but she chose to focus on being thankful for every day she had. She said that life is a gift and that she planned to live as fully as possible. Despite her courage and fighting spirit, Olivia passed away on August 8th.
Her husband posted the news on her official Facebook page a little while ago, saying that she passed away peacefully at her home in Southern California.
Her husband, John Easterling, told the world that she died peacefully at their home in Southern California, surrounded by family and friends. He asked people to respect the family's privacy during this very hard time. He added that during her serious battle with cancer, Olivia acted as a symbol of strength and hope. Many showed their love and sadness for Olivia after her passing. To add to John Travolta's heartfelt message, a lot of popular people also tagged her. Rod Stewart called her the perfect woman, and she made him want to make music. Stockard Channing remembers Olivia's calm nature and kindness, and Mariah Carey spoke of her beauty and good heart. Fans showed their sorrow and recalled how much Olivia meant to them in their messages. Olivia Newton-John left a legacy that will be remembered forever. It's hard to imagine a world without some of Olivia Newton-John's most unforgettable work. But what if one of the moments that came to define her legacy was something she almost walked away from before the world ever heard it? Let's take a closer look. The song that almost never was. When Olivia Newton-John thought back on her huge hit song, Physical, she had a lot to say about its story and what it meant. It's hard to believe, but it's been 40 years since that song took over the music charts all across the country.
It was too late, it was out there in the public, and I thought, well, you know what? I need to do a video and I need to do it about exercise.
Physical was her fifth #1 single, and it turned out to be the biggest success of her entire career. It sold a massive 10 million copies, which is an amazing number. Even though it was such a hit, some radio and TV stations at the time decided not to play it. They thought the song was too bold or too suggestive. Olivia laughed about it in a chat with E.T.'s Nichelle Turner and said, "If you look at the kind of stuff people say in songs now, it's wild. What people talk about today is way more shocking." She even added, "My song sounds like a lullaby compared to today's music." Even though Physical came out back in September of 1981, Olivia admitted that at first she didn't feel so sure about releasing it. In fact, she actually tried to stop the release. She said that a close friend of hers had written the song, and she thought it was great at first. She recorded it with her longtime friend and producer John Farrar. But once it was done, she started to panic. Suddenly, she realized what the lyrics could mean and thought it might be too much. "I didn't even think about what people might read into it," she said. So she called her manager and said, "We need to pull it. We've gone too far." But he told her it was already playing on the radio and doing really well, so it was too late. Looking back now, Olivia said she learned something from that. Sometimes the things you're most scared of doing are the things you're really meant to do. She was glad she didn't stop the song in the end. Even though 40 years have passed, it still feels fresh to her. She's happy when newer stars like Dua Lipa and Doja Cat use or sample her music. "It makes me feel proud," she said. "And I'm really happy for Steve Kipner, the songwriter. I never imagined people would still love Physical after all this time. I feel truly lucky." The role that made Olivia Newton-John a worldwide star, playing Sandy in the film Grease, almost didn't happen for her. Other actresses like Susan Dey and Carrie Fisher were considered for the part of Sandy, who was the love interest of John Travolta's Danny Zuko. That Olivia ended up with the role says a lot about her quiet strength and charm. Back in 1977, singer Helen Reddy, who was known for helping other Australians in Hollywood, invited Olivia to dinner. At that dinner, she met film producer Alan Carr. He owned the rights to turn Grease, which was already a popular stage show, into a movie. He thought Olivia would be a great choice for Sandy. But Olivia wasn't so sure. She had her doubts. She was 29 years old, which was a lot older than the character she was supposed to play. She had also acted in a science fiction movie in the past that didn't do well, and she didn't want to risk her music career on another flop. There was also her Australian accent. She was worried about sounding wrong in an American high school setting. But the filmmakers really wanted her, so they made changes. They made the character Australian and adjusted her backstory to make it all fit. Olivia asked for two things: a screen test with John Travolta to see if they worked well together, and shared top billing in the credits. Both requests were granted. Olivia's early hits like Let Me Be There and Banks of the Ohio had already made her a music star, blending American country sound with her own style. John Travolta later said Olivia reminded him of a young Taylor Swift. But unlike Swift, who was from Tennessee, Olivia was seen as an outsider when she won Country Music Association's Female Vocalist of the Year. In 1974, some people didn't like it. A group of about 50 traditional country music fans created their own organization to keep country music pure. They didn't say it directly, but it was clear they were upset that someone not from America had won. Olivia didn't try to fight back. She just stayed true to herself. Behind the bright lights and career-defining roles, what unseen battles and emotional turns awaited Olivia Newton-John in the years that followed, testing not just her spirit, but everything she believed in? Let's learn more. Disappearances, diagnosis, and deep gratitude. Then in 2005, something very strange happened. Olivia's former partner, Patrick McDermott, went missing during a fishing trip. He left from San Pedro Marina and was never seen again. He was 48 years old at the time. His wallet and some of his belongings were found on the boat, but he wasn't. Years later, in 2008, the U.S. Coast Guard said he probably drowned, but the case still didn't seem clear. Some people thought he might have faked his death. In 2009, a Dateline NBC report said he could have vanished to avoid paying bills, including child support. Then, in 2017, an Australian magazine said they had new photos of a man who looked just like McDermott. A U.S. photo agency had shared the pictures, and a private investigator said the man was a 90% match. There were even earlier stories that he had been living in Mexico with a German girlfriend. Through all this, Olivia kept singing and stayed strong. She often made up little songs just for herself, singing things like "I'm healthy, I'm strong," over and over. "Positive thinking is important," she said, smiling. "When life gets tough, music always helps me feel better." That mindset helped her deal with her third breast cancer diagnosis in 2017. She said in January that her tumors had gotten smaller. When someone asked how she was doing, she said cheerfully, "I'm doing good." Her Australian accent is still strong, even after living in the U.S. for more than 45 years. In 2018, her illness got worse, and she broke a bone in her spine. She had to learn to walk again. "I was really weak. I had to use a walker, then a cane, then crutches. But now I'm walking just fine," she said. When the world shut down during the pandemic, Olivia got to stay home. It was a nice change for her. She spent time with her family, her pets, her tiny horses, and her chickens. She even planted tomatoes and ate them when they were ripe. She also learned not to stress so much about small messes around the house. "I used to want everything to be perfect, but now I just think, it's my home. Who cares if it's a little messy?" she said. "I'm just so thankful to be with my wonderful husband. And my daughter is visiting, which is lovely." Olivia often used the word lucky when talking about her life. She said it when she talked about her music success, with her Grammy wins and hit songs. She said it when she spoke about her health struggles, too. "3 times lucky, right?" she said with a soft laugh. "That's how I see it. Every day is a gift. None of us knows how much time we have. We just need to be thankful." Her words came from the heart. She said that one thing that helped her a lot, besides medical treatments like chemotherapy and surgery, was medical cannabis. Her husband, John Easterling, introduced her to it. He grows cannabis in a greenhouse on their land as part of his business. Her daughter, Chloe, also runs a cannabis farm in Oregon. "I was nervous to try it at first," Olivia said, "but then I saw how much it helped. It eased my pain, helped me sleep, and kept me calm." Olivia believed in the healing power of plants so much that she started the Olivia Newton-John Foundation to support research into natural ways to treat cancer.
So I have a kind of comprehensive view of the different stages of going through cancer, and also to support them.
As Olivia faced the final chapters of her life with quiet strength, who was the one person by her side whose love, support, and shared purpose brought her peace when she needed it most? Let's find out. A love that carried her through the end. Olivia Newton-John's absence from social media during the summer of 2022 was noticed by her followers, and her final Instagram post shortly before her passing became a powerful and emotional reflection of her last days. Her family confirmed her death through her official social media pages. She was 73 years old. While no formal cause of death was publicly released, the tribute emphasized her enduring battle with breast cancer, and it honored her legacy through the Olivia Newton-John Foundation Fund. The post highlighted her belief in a holistic approach to healing, including the mind, body, and spirit. Despite her personal health challenges, Newton-John dedicated herself to breast cancer advocacy and fundraising for research. Her activism not only became central to her later life, but also led to a personal turning point when she met herbalist John Easterling. Easterling had been exploring healing practices among indigenous communities in the Amazon since 1976. Their mutual interest in alternative cancer treatments brought them together, and they eventually co-founded the Olivia Newton-John Foundation. Newton-John and Easterling married in 2008, a relationship she cherished deeply until her final days. She made her final update to her more than 500,000 Instagram followers on August 5, 2022. The post was a heartfelt tribute to Easterling. The image showed the couple sitting closely together outdoors, surrounded by tall plants, with Easterling holding Newton-John in his arms as she smiled at the camera. The photo was originally taken for her 2016 People magazine feature. Her followers responded with love and concern. Many admired the visible happiness between the couple. One fan commented that they were the perfect pair, while another sent well wishes for Newton-John's health and included her in their prayers. Some followers noted her social media silence leading up to the post. One person expressed anxiety, writing that the quiet was unsettling and even frightening. Her previous Instagram update had been posted on July 15th, making the August 5 tribute to her husband particularly significant. Newton-John rarely used her social media platforms to spotlight her family life. Most of her posts were tied to her professional projects or Cancer Foundation efforts. Although she shared a picture in December 2020 of her and Easterling kissing under mistletoe, even that post was tied to promoting her foundation's mission to discover gentler cancer treatments. Reflecting on the experience in a 2016 interview with People, Newton-John said she hadn't been looking for love, but found her unexpectedly. What do you think about the legacy of Olivia Newton-John? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Thank you for watching this video. We hope you found it interesting. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Click the next video shown on your screen to catch up on your favorite celebrity stories. See you there?